West African countries, including Europe. So the earlier we nip it in the bud and accept responsibility, the better for us. It will not help any of us if we're in denial. It is a fact. Traffickers are very crafty people. This is business. This is big business. This is a 150 billion naira annually business. So you know they can employ all sorts of tricks to get these people. These are ignorant girls that are taken from the rural communities all over Nigeria. Most of them have never left their villages before. So of course, if they tell you you're going to Malaysia, you think you're going abroad. They don't even have an idea where Malaysia is. And they give them the impression that they are going to work as house helps or work in a factory or work in a restaurant. Nobody ever tells them that when they get to Mali, they will be forced into prostitution. And you see, because of cases like this, the protocol is very clear. Victims should never be treated as criminals. A lot of people, stigmatize these girls and say, oh, what did they go and do there? They are prostitutes. They are disgracing us. But these are victims. They are not criminals and should never be treated as criminals, And yeah. The MOU, yes, we plan to do the MOU between all the member states, and we're working on it. We just want to do it one at a time. It may be easier for us that way. Somebody mentioned something about gold or whatever. It's not about going there to look for gold. It's the fact we are making is that in places where you find gold and mines, there are a lot of men working there in the gold mines, and that is why they traffic these girls to the gold mines for the pleasure of the miners. It's not the girls going there to look for gold or going there to look for the men. It is the traffickers taking these girls to the gold mines to force them to have sex with the miners. The money is not even being paid to the girls, but the money is now paid to the so-called madams who bring these girls to the gold mine areas to collect the monies from them. Mr. Speaker, I'll be very grateful if you can also oblige me to come here once more to give a very comprehensive paper on human trafficking, because we need to really understand the tricks of human trafficking and what human trafficking is. Because most times girls that are trafficked are stigmatized and referred to as prostitutes. They are not prostitutes. They are forced victims of sexual exploitation and should never be regarded as prostitutes. The girls are between the ages of 16 to 30 years old. And some of the girls I saw, I can bet my life they were like 14. Most of them don't even know their ages because they are not even schooled. There were very young girls that were there the last time I went, but the ages are between like roughly 16 to 30, and they can be younger. Who are the madams? The madams are those traffickers themselves who carry these girls from the rural areas, deceiving their parents that they are going to get jobs for them. They take them and they collect every penny from these girls. These girls don't have a penny. If I'm a prostitute, I would call the shots and every penny will go into my pocket. I cannot be called a prostitute when someone else is collecting the money from my prostitution. So this is no prostitution, but this is a clear case of human trafficking for the purpose of forced sexual exploitation. And the madams are being protected by the security men there because they are making money from this business. It is risk business. It's done everywhere. What are we doing to rehabilitate them? The few girls that have come back to Nigeria, they've gone through our shelters. We've given them psychosocial support. We've given them medical support. We've trained them in skill acquisition. Some of them who want to go back to school, they've gone back to school. And we follow them and we monitor them. That is what we do with the returnees. How do they enter? It's the same thing we are talking about. Most of the borders are porous. And you cannot rule out the possibility of corruption at the borders. Corruption is everywhere. Even in Europe, as strict as they are, people still slip through the borders because you will definitely find one or two corrupt law enforcement officers there. So corruption also is a major part in human trafficking, has a major role to play in human trafficking. Now, The ECOWAS protocol on free movement has been misconceived greatly. Even those at the borders think the law enforcement agencies or agents at the borders believe that because there's an ECOWAS protocol on free movement, anyone can just walk through the borders, even young underage girls, unaccompanied and without valid documents. We were at the borders 2 weeks ago to sensitize them with ECOWAS, and we told them ECOWAS free protocol does not mean that when you see a young girl who is obviously going to be a victim of trafficking, you allow her to go through without a valid identification and also to go without a valid mission. And so the training went on, and they now begin to understand what it means, that they must travel with a valid identity. And it's not a one-off training. We plan to go there from time to time to carry out massive training and sensitization in the border communities and in the rural communities. Yes, thank you very much.